Hello friends and greetings for the day. Welcome back to another tutorial on ISTQB Advanced Level Test Management Certification. We are in chapter 2 talking about managing the product, and we are still with the first segment, that is 2.1, the test matrices. And today, as a part of this tutorial, we'll be talking about the next sub-segment, that is 2.1.2, monitoring, control, and completion, and would like to understand how these matrices are used within monitoring and controlling, which is basically an activity of throughout the life cycle. As a part of our previous tutorial, we have already discussed a lot about what these matrices are. We started with discussion on the various categorization of matrices, and also we told you that when it comes to the different perspective of matrices, during the planning, during the monitoring and control, and during the test completion, what exactly are the matrices which are used. In this particular small tutorial, we'll be just talking about what happens with the matrices with respect to monitoring and control. In fact, we have already discussed this process about monitoring and control in the chapter 1, but right here, we will talk about from the perspective of matrices. So let's quickly get started. And the very first thing here we are talking about again is introduction to the test matrix. These are the indicators that show how far the test has progressed and whether the exit criteria or related test tasks have been achieved. Also, test monitoring is the activity of collecting data regarding the test and the associated evaluation and assessment. It is indeed used to evaluate the testing progress and to check the fulfillment of the exit criteria or associated test activities, where exit criteria are derived from the test objective itself. Whereas on the other hand, of course, the test control, which uses the information from the test monitoring to provide guidance and corrective actions to achieve effective and efficient testing. Example of test control directives include reprioritization of test when an identified risk becomes an issue, reevaluating whether the test item meets the entry criteria or exit criteria due to any rework, and adjusting the test schedule to account for a delay in the delivery of the test environment, and adding new resources when and where needed. I think in simple words, we have already discussed the definitions to monitoring and control even in our very first chapter. Right here, we are just kind of reminding you once again that monitoring is all about keeping an eye on the ongoing progress. And as a part of this monitoring, that is keeping an eye on the progress, we would identify deviations from the plan or schedule or budget. And based on these deviations observed, we will take appropriate control actions. The control actions has to be as appropriate as that of the deviation, because not anything would just work blindly. So some of the examples have been discussed here as we just read them out. That is reprioritizing a test if in case known issues appear, or same way if you talk about reevaluating a work product when any kind of rework is done. So pretty much control actions can be anything which relates to the deviation observed. Sometimes it could be delay in execution, sometimes it could be about the environment being not supplied on time, or maybe not up enough for people to perform the required activities. A test manager is someone who is responsible to analyze the deviation observed and then take as appropriate action as possible to make sure that this action, which is control action, is guiding the plan to get back to the schedule or being a corrective action to help the team come back to the schedule. Further to add here, of course, we are talking about the test completion as well. The completion collects data from the completed test activities to consolidate lessons learned, testware, and other relevant information. The test completion occurs at the project milestones, such as completion of a test level, the completion of an iteration, or the completion or even cancellation of a test project, the release of a product, or the completion of a maintenance release. Indeed, in other words, the completion is more of like once the testing stops or on major milestones, when we would like to summarize the data of the progress, we would like to put them into a numerical format to represent to the stakeholders or maybe business as well that how much we have achieved and how much more to go. Now, this is only the case if it is conducted before the completion of the project or completion of the release. At the end of the project or end of the release, we would be just wrapping it up with all the information. And of course, at completion, we will also have those numbers which would represent that what we could do and what is pending. So there may be some set of requirements which you still have, which is yet to be completed. So we'll be targeting the release where you are planning to do that. And same way for the defects. If the defects are unresolved, then what is the plan of fixing them? Same way, if we talk about the environments, we may look forward to see how the environment have been shut down and many other activities which we don't know from the chapter 1. So indeed, these are not something new for us. It's just that we are trying to understand how matrices can be useful in these set of activities, and this is where it is required to report them as a part of our entire discussion. And finally, to add, common test metric which are used in test management activities include the project progress metric and metric that shows progress against the planned schedule and budget, the current test item quality, and the effectiveness of testing against the test objective or iteration objectives. So at any point of time, a manager should be responsible to select those set of matrices which are actually very important to be monitored throughout the life cycle. And during this phase, the manager should be evaluating it to consider the ongoing progress and take them into account and report them to the respective stakeholders. And with that, we just understand the matrices are basically helpful in terms of defining what it takes to perform these activities. Well, that's all from this particular short tutorial, team. Should you have anything else, feel free to comment below. I'm always there to address your queries and answer them well. Till then, keep learning, keep exploring, keep understanding the context. Thanks for watching the video, team, and happy learning.